What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today I am going to preview and predict Sunday afternoon's matchup. You have the 5-5 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 8-2 Seattle Seahawks at Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday, yo. Before I get into this video, man, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on Instagram or send me a friend request on Facebook, I will have my Instagram and my Facebook information down in the description box. So y'all come give me a follow on the gram, send me a request on the book, yo, and come holler at your boy, yo. First, this game obviously has been flexed. Like, this was supposed to be the Sunday night game this week, but due to the fact that the Eagles are not doing what people thought they would do, and not to mention you do have a marquee matchup in the Green Bay Packers and a surprisingly really good San Francisco 49ers, they flexed out of our game and put it, to a 1 p.m. Eastern game on Sunday, which, all right, it is what it is. But first looking at the opponent, the Seattle Seahawks, man, they've had a great season up to this point. Their only two losses are two home losses to arguably the best team in the AFC and the best team in the NFC, to the New Orleans Saints and to the Baltimore Ravens. Besides that, obviously they've won every game, yo. They led by MVP candidate, Mr. All, Mr. Everything, Russell Wilson, man, who is having a tremendous season, making plays, just doing what he do, yo. He's a model of consistency, and this is one of his better years, yo. Our offensive line, they never really had a great offensive line since he's been there since early in his career. And this one isn't great, but it isn't terrible, They still got, Dwayne Brown over there, a guy they got a couple of years ago from the Houston Texans. In the backfield, they have Chris Carson, man, who started off this season really, really struggling with fumbles. I think he had a fumble in like each of the first three, lost a fumble actually in each of the first three games of the season. But since then, he's really been coming on, man. Just an absolute physical downhill runner, man, who could really, who's really great in short yardage situations. And their receiving core, man, they've just added before their last game, Josh Gordon off of waivers from the New England Patriots. And they also had Tyler Lockett had an injury against the 49ers in their last game, but it looks like it's a really good chance that he's going to be able to play against the Eagles Sunday. And they also have the rookie who, right now, I'm very frustrated because I felt like the Eagles should have had him instead of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and DK Metcalf. Now, granted, I know he mostly only runs go routes, but he's very effective at them because he runs a 4-3 and he has he's really, really good at 50-50 balls, yo. Tight end position, man. They had a big loss earlier this season with Will Dissly, who was doing really, really well. But they got a couple of guys that's filling in, admirable for them. And on the defensive side of the ball, now granted, this isn't, the Legion of Boom from years ago, led by Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor and those guys. But these guys are still pretty solid defensively, man. Up front, they got the big homie Jadeveon Clowney, the former #1 overall pick, a guy who the Eagles, had a chance to get in the offseason. Howard decided not to go get him. He's wreaking havoc for the Seahawks, man. I think he got 2 defensive touchdowns on the season. And then their linebacker core, man, they led by arguably the best middle linebacker in football, and Bobby Wagner, man, a guy who is just an absolute big-time player, man. And also on the side of him, his running mate, KJ Wright, yo. Very, very good, steady, great linebacker core for the Seattle Seahawks. And in their secondary, man, it's not no real notable names like that back there. But, they got some very young guys, but some young guys who are playing really good football right now. And, of course, they're led by head coach Pete Carroll, man, who obviously he's one of the best coaches in all of football, yo. Then you look at my Philadelphia Eagles, man. We coming in with a 5-5 record, and that's exactly what type of team we've been. An average team, yo. Offensively, man, it just hasn't been good, yo. The offensive line has been solid, led by Brandon Brooks. Hopefully, Lane Johnson is back this week. Jason Kelsey at center. Sale Malo and I guess half of Jason Peters because he's in, then he's out. He's in, then he's out. Quarterback Carson Wentz, who is not having a spectacular year, but he's not having as bad of a year as people want to make him out to be having, yo. Tight ends are still solid with Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, but the wide receiving core is absolutely horrible. I seen today that Nelson Aguilar, out of 124 wide receivers, is ranked 124, yo. And this is a guy getting $9 million, man. It's just absolutely awful. But positive news is we may get Alshon Jeffrey back this week, which obviously he's still not the downhill three. He's not like getting Deshaun Jackson back, but still he should help a little bit, at least in, 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 6 in situations like that. Running back core, man. It looks like we may get Jordan Howard back this week also. Even if he's not fully ready to go, Jay Ajayi should be ready to play this week, man. So, with Jordan Howard, Jay Ajayi, Miles Sanders, Eagles going to have a pretty formidable run game to go along with the offensive line that we have. The defense is starting to play better, man. Like Fletcher Cox is starting to, even though he's not getting the sacks, he's starting to put a little more pressure on the QB again. Brandon Graham is starting to play well. The linebacker, it looks like it's a chance Nigel Bradham may be back for the Eagles this game after missing a very long time due to that ankle injury. But a guy like Nathan Garrett has stepped in and he's played pretty well the last couple of weeks. And I must say, man, even though they haven't gone up against great wide receivers recently, the cornerbacks in particular have played decent the last few weeks, yo. I must say, led by Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills. They're starting to play decent football. And Devontae Maddox in the slot. And of course, you're getting solid play from the safeties and Malcolm Jenkins and Devontae Maddox. And of course, we led by head coach Dougie P. When I look at this matchup, man, when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles offense going up against the Seattle Seahawks defense, where I feel good at is that the Eagles, I think, can run the ball on them a little bit with Jordan Howard, Jay Ajayi, and Miles Sanders. I feel good about that aspect of things. Not to mention that they got some young, good, decent corners, but they're not the New England Patriots secondary. And Alshon Jeffrey should be back. And, the Eagles should have a little more success throwing the football, especially if they could add the run. Where I am a little concerned at, though, is if Jason Peters or if Lane Johnson doesn't play, how would Andre Dillard, the rookie, who has played well, but he is a rookie, and Big V, who was terrible in place of Lane Johnson last week, can they block Jadeveon Clowney, man? Because this guy is an absolute monster on the D-line coming around the edge, yo. That's my biggest concern for the Eagles offensively. And when you look at the other side of the ball, man, the Eagles defense versus the Seahawks offense, where I feel good about on the matchups is I feel like the Eagles defensive front can put pressure on Russell Wilson. Now, granted, it's still tough because we know that he could scramble, he could move out of the pocket, and he could make plays downfield, yo. But I do like the fact that I think Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham could at least put solid pressure on him. Where I'm concerned is, though the cornerbacks have been playing well lately, and the Seahawks don't have a bunch of great, besides Tyler Lockett, I'm a little concerned at the speed that they have at wide receiver. DK Metcalf could run past any of our corners. Josh Gordon can pretty much run past our corners. And if Tyler Lockett plays, he's a very, very, very good wide receiver, yo. What's going to lead to my prediction, yo? I get it. The Philadelphia Eagles, though they had their chances to win last week, offensively it was bad. I get it. The Seattle Seahawks are coming in off of a bye week. I get it. They have an 8-2 record. I get it that Russell Wilson is an MVP candidate. I like the fact that the Eagles are at home in this game. I like the fact that you're getting Alshon Jeffrey back and Jordan Howard potentially back and Jay Ajayi is ready to roll. The fact that after this game, before the Cowboys game, the Eagles got 3 extremely winnable games with the Miami Dolphins, New York Giants, and Washington Redskins. And the fact that the Cowboys are playing the Patriots in New England, this is a big game, man. The Eagles win this game. It's a great chance that they tied on top of the NFC East with a much easier schedule while Dallas has a more difficult schedule. I think I like the way the defense played last week. I think with Alshon and Jordan Howard, the offense will be better. I think the Eagles get it done at home, man. I like my Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Seattle Seahawks 24-21 in a Jake Elliott walk-off field goal, yo. I got Eagles 24, Seahawks 21 on Sunday, yo. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, hit the like button for your boy and give me a subscribe, man. I'm going to have Philadelphia Eagles and NFL content throughout the year. Also, this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific, I will do a live Q&A. Y'all could come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I'll answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live, yo. Y'all should come join me, man. It's some good stuff. I'll do it for about an hour, yo. But until then, man, y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.